What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of MLB action here on Friday, September 12th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the best chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, went as good as it can possibly go. We go 6-0, a clean sweep. We hit the Packers at minus 3.5. That was a nice 27-18 win there for the Green Bay. They continued, to look very, very good. Controlled most of the game. Great job containing Jaden Daniels. The ground game really was very, very clutch there for the Packers, and yeah, just overall a nice game. And speaking of the ground game, Josh Jacobs, over 77.5 rushing yards. That one cashed at minus 115. Took until close to the end of the game, but he made it to 84 yards. So cashing on a day where he only averaged 3.7 yards per carry feels pretty good. On the MLB side, we had Toronto at minus 155. That was a blowout 6-0 win behind a monster complete game there from Gausman, where he gave up only 2 hits and struck out 9. Javier actually had a middle of the road to decent start, but will definitely take the comfortable win in that one for Toronto. With the Yankees at minus 160, took a lot of heat down in the comments for that Yankees pick. Well, they get the blowout 9-3 win behind a great start there from Schlittler, who put up 6 solid innings, giving up only a single run. The bats finally got going there for the Yankees, and the bullpen didn't implode, so they get a much needed bounce back win. We had the White Sox at plus 125 as our dog of the day, a comfortable 5-1 win behind 5 2/3 shutout innings there from Shane Smith, and a very good day there from the White Sox bullpen. So we will happily take the win on a nice underdog, and we cash the Padres at minus 250 as our massive lock of the day. A nice 2-0 win to finish off our perfect night. Vasquez had a great start, giving up 0 runs over 6 innings and striking out 9, and the bullpen finished off the shutout without giving up a single hit. So absolutely dominant stuff there from the Padres, and dominant stuff from us, if I do say so myself. Feels really good to rip off a nice 6-0 day. We will certainly take that. Let's go ahead and dive back in. A massive slate of MLB action here on a very, very busy Friday. So we're going to break down every single game, starting off here with the Tampa Bay Rays heading to Chicago to take on the Cubs. The Rays come into this game fresh off that 5-1 loss to the White Sox there yesterday. So slam that like button if you enjoyed cashing the White Sox as our underdog. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Shane Baz. He's 9-11 on the year, a 4.94 ERA, coming off a couple very good starts. Good work against Seattle, good work against Cleveland. The Rays were only 1-1 in those games, so we'll see what he can do here going up against the Cubs. Obviously, a little bit more of a test here against a team he hasn't faced this season. The Tampa Bay bullpen has not been their problem this year. It's actually been pretty solid, easily top 10 in the majors, but the offense has just left them over the last, at least since the All-Star break, maybe even before that a little bit. 1-5-5, 1-2-1 over their last few games. Not going to get the job done. This is not supposed to be a middle-of-the-road offense. They're supposed to be top 10. Well, it turns out they very much are not, and that's why they're 2 games below 500 and pretty much out of the mix there in the American League wildcard hunt. They're taking on the Cubs in this game. They're headed to Wrigley Field to take on the Cubs, and the Cubs did just win 2 out of 3 at Atlanta. Now they're going to see what they can do in this matchup. They're 5.5 games back of the Brewers, so not out of the mix there in the NL Central. Obviously looking very, very good in the wildcard hunt. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Matthew Boyd, who's 12-8 on the year, a 2.92 ERA, coming off a very good start there against the Nationals. 7 innings, 7 hits, but only 2 earned runs allowed. That was a game the Cubs lost 2-1. Actually, Chicago's 0-3 over his last 3 starts, and the 2 starts before that one against the Nationals were not very good. So we'll see what he can do, trying to have a good outing here against the Tampa Bay Rays, a team that I don't believe, no, he hasn't faced this year. So we'll see how that goes, see if the Cubs bullpen can pull itself back together. A 3.89 bullpen ERA is below what we normally expect out of the Cubs this season. The offense, 3-6-1, 3-1 over their last few. The offense kind of drying up here for Chicago. They need to find a way to get back on track at the plate. They're down to 14th in batting average, 12th in on-base percentage. Those are not the kind of numbers we were seeing out of Chicago in the early portion of the season. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Rays are big underdogs at plus 145. The Cubs are minus 170. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. The Rays, 34-38 on the road, 37-32-3 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 44-26 at home, 34-30-6 to the under at home. Regardless of those trends and regardless of how these two teams are swinging the bats, I don't really trust these 2 starters right now, so you could maybe take over 7.5. I don't think that's insane. In terms of a side, I don't have a big lean here. I'll maybe take the Rays at plus 145 as a tiny lean since Boyd has struggled a little bit recently, but not a whole lot of value showing on this one. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals heading to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Royals at 74 and 73 definitely have to be finding some wins to keep their heads above water. They've lost 4 out of their last 5, a terrible disaster series, losing 3 out of 4 against Cleveland. They're going to try to bounce back here against the Phillies. They're handing the ball to Michael Lorenzen in this game. He's 5-10 on the year, a 4.63 ERA. He's fresh off a pretty mediocre start there against the Twins. 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs against a pretty bad offensive team is not a great look. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies, a team that I don't believe he's faced. No, he has not faced this season. So we'll see how that goes. Not super high on Lorenzen at the moment. The Royals bullpen, on the other hand, though, should be in great shape to back him up. A 3.55 bullpen ERA. They've been excellent in the pen all year long. The offense, though, has been atrocious. 2-4-0, 2-1, and 11 over their last few. They're 28th in the majors in runs scored. They are 24th in on-base percentage. A terrible, terrible offense is what has held the Royals back this season. So we'll see what they're able to come up with here against the Phillies, who just put up a 4-game sweep of the Mets. I don't think they have too much to worry about with an 11-game lead now in the NL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Walker Buehler, who came over from the Red Sox. He's 7-7 on the year, a 5.45 ERA. They brought him back up from the minors. We'll see what he can do. His last time on the big league mound was on the 24th. And didn't have a very good time there against the Yankees. So we'll see what it looks like here against the Royals. You can't hardly ask for an easier team to get back on the mound against. We'll see what Walker Buehler can do. We'll see that Phillies bullpen can hold together, a 4.30 bullpen ERA. That's been a big problem for this team this year, but the offense was absolutely on fire there against the Mets, scoring 6, 11, 9, and 1 runs over the course of that series. Very, very solid stuff. They're 9th in the majors. They are 3rd in the majors in on-base percentage. This is a very, very legit offense. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Royals are plus 110. The Phillies are minus 130. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Royals are 34 and 37 on the road, 35, 34, and 1 to the under on the road. The Phillies are 48 and 23 at home. That's an MLB best home mark. 35, 32, and 4 to the over at home. I'm not too interested in the total in this game, but I'll definitely lean towards the Royals here, getting plus money against Walker Buehler, who's coming back up from the minors. Yeah, I am not loving this spot for him. I also think it's a big letdown situation for the Phillies coming off that 4-game sweep of the Mets. I think this is a good chance for the Royals to sneak into Philadelphia and steal a win. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates heading to Washington to take on the Nationals. The Pirates have now lost 6 straight games, getting swept there by the Brewers, then getting swept there at Camden Yards. Each one of those games they lost against the Orioles, I will mention, was a 1-run game. So we'll see if they can bounce back here, handing the ball to Mitch Keller. He's 6-14 on the year, a 4.16 ERA. He's fresh off a very good start there against the Brewers. 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs against Milwaukee is a very solid outing. Of course, he got almost no run support, which is what you would expect as a Brewers pitcher. So we'll see what he can get here going up against the Nationals, a team he hasn't faced since April, and he was okay in that start, but we're not taking starts in April too much into consideration now here in September. The bullpen for the Pirates is not great. A 4.06 bullpen ERA is not ideal, although they had an okay series there against Baltimore. The offense, 2-1-2, 2-1, and 2 over their last few games. That's embarrassing. This team can't hit the ball. They are one of the worst offenses in the majors. They're last in runs scored, and they are last in slugging percentage. Don't have a lot of positive things to say about the Pirates hitters right now. The Nationals, they come into this game, just split a 4-game series there at Miami. They're going to hand the ball and listen to Brad Lord. He's sporting a 4.20 ERA. He's fresh off a very good 5 2/3 innings start there against the Cubs, where he only gave a single run on 2 hits. Very good work there. Over his last 5 starts, he's had 2 good ones. I would say he's had 3 mediocre ones. We'll see what he can do here against the Pirates, like one of the worst hitting teams in the majors. So I'm expecting him to have a pretty good time out there. The Nationals bullpen is the worst bullpen in the majors, so that's not ideal. The offense, 0, 3, 7, and 15 over their last few games. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored. They're 20th in slugging percentage. This is not really an offensive powerhouse here for the Nationals, but they've been a better offense over the course of the year than the Pirates by a significant margin. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Pirates are minus 110. The Nationals are minus 110. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Pirates are only 22-50 on the road. They're 43, 26, and 3 to the under on the road. Washington's 29-42 at home, so not great. 35, 32, and 4 to the over at home. In this spot, guys, I trust Brad Lord and the Nationals enough to get the job done in what appears, according to the odds makers, is a coin flip game. I definitely think the Nationals have a significant edge in this one. I think they're going to come away with a win in this one. The vast majority of the time, I'm expecting a very good start from Brad Lord and very little offense there from the Pirates. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is stumpthespread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL Week 2, and NCAA Football Week 3 picks. Both those, we got a big weekend here coming up. A lot of college football, a lot of NFL action on the line. Definitely want to go over there to Stump the Spread and check out everything we offer over there, including exclusive free picks that are only offered there and our premium content that's over there as well. MLB has been on a very, very hot run, posting a 2-1 day there yesterday, or I guess a 1-1 MLB day, but also cashing the Packers there as a 2.5-point favorite. Got in on the early line there, so well played. It's been a very, very nice little run. 3-1 day on the 9th, 3-1 day on the 10th, and then a 2-1 day there on the 11th. Very, very solid stuff. As you can see, all those picks up on the screen, some nice profit being printed over there for our premium users. So definitely get over there to Stump the Spread. Check out all the premium stuff. I'm not the premium handicapper over there at Stump the Spread, so it's not going to match what you see here in the videos almost ever, guys. We have experts over there that have over a decade worth of experience each covering those sports, covering MLB, covering NCAA football, covering NFL. You definitely want to be getting their opinion on your bets. So definitely get over there, check that out. Also, there's lots of free stuff over there, like I was saying, especially you got to go over there to get on the free email newsletter. It's a great resource. Every single day you'll get at least one, you'll get an email with at least one pick in it. Oftentimes 2 free picks, information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of great stuff. Big write-ups on NFL every single weekend, big write-ups on NCAA football. It's just a fantastic resource. Any serious sports bettor should definitely be on that list. It's absolutely free. All you need is your name and your email address. You get 1 email per day. It's not like we're spamming you with emails. So definitely check that out. If you're having trouble getting those emails, check your spam folder. That can sometimes be a problem. But also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get your name up on screen in every single video, but more importantly, guys, you get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie every single week from basically here on out. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. It's been a blast to roll that wheel every single week and send out a free Stump the Spread hoodie to whichever one of our YouTube channel members that arrow lands on. So definitely get down there in the comments and check that out. But also, click that little join button if you're interested in signing up to be a YouTube channel member. But guys, we got to dive back in. We've got a full slate to cover here on a very busy Wednesday. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Baltimore Orioles. They're going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Orioles come into this game actually playing pretty well. They're 69-77 on the year, so they'd have to go on a very crazy run here at the end of the season for it to really mean much. But they've won, 8 of their last 9 games. They just swept the Pirates, winning some very close ones there. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Trevor Rogers, who's been part of this whole come up here for the Orioles. He's 8-2 on the year, a 1.51 ERA. This 27-year-old lefty is looking lights out. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, but only 2 earned runs there in a 4-3 win against the Dodgers. The last 5 times he's been on the mound, guys, the Orioles have gotten the win in all of those games. They haven't lost in a game that he has pitched in since back on back on August 1st. He has been amazing. So loving what we're seeing from Trevor Rogers. The bullpen for Baltimore is nothing too special. Not going to be writing home about that anytime soon, although they did throw the ball well against the Pirates, for what that's worth. The offense, 3-2-3, 2-4-2 over their last few games, is not hitting the ball like crazy. They're 22nd in runs scored. They're 22nd in batting average. Gone is that monster lineup there of the Orioles from last season. They're not like that anymore. So we'll see what they can do. See if they can keep up here with the Toronto Blue Jays, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Astros. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing Toronto with us there yesterday. The Blue Jays, they're 3 games up on the Yankees there in the AL East. They'll hand the ball in this one to Chris Bassett. He's 11-8 on the year, a 3.97 ERA, and he has been lights out over his last 4 starts at least. Great stuff there against the Yankees, the Reds, the Twins, and the Pirates. That being said, Toronto has managed to take the loss in all 4 of those games, which is bonkers with how well he threw the ball. So we'll see what he can do here against the Orioles. The last time he faced them was the end of July, and he got obliterated in that start. So that does make us a little bit worried, but he was floundering during that stretch, and he's been throwing the ball great here recently. So maybe he's got a bounce back in him. The Toronto bullpen, not on my list of my favorite bullpens, but definitely better than the Orioles. The offense, though, has been great. Maybe not so great lately. I mean, 6-2, 4-3, and 1 over their last few, but they're 6th in the majors in runs scored. They're 1st in both batting average and on base percentage. This is not the kind of offense where you can get away with a ton of mistakes. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Orioles are actually plus 115. The Blue Jays are minus 135. A total of 8 in this game. Baltimore's 33-39 on the road, 42-27-3 to the under on the road. Toronto's 47-25 at home, 42-28-2 to the over at home. That's actually an MLB best to the over. Guys, I'm not too interested in the over in this one, but I think we have to seriously consider the Orioles here at plus 115. Getting plus money with Trevor Rogers on the mound feels like something of a gift. The Blue Jays have not been hitting the cover off the ball here for quite some time now, so I think the Orioles maybe have enough in the tank to get another win in this one. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox heading to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. The White Sox got the win for us yesterday as underdogs, so slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing that one. They won 2 out of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays, obviously with 90 losses already on their record. They're not going anywhere important this year, but they're playing well down the stretch. They'll hand the ball in this one to veteran Martin Perez, who's 1-4 on the year, a 3.15 ERA. He's coming off a pretty bad start against the Tigers, but had a good outing against the Yankees right before that, so we'll see which version we get of him here. I mean, he's thrown the ball really well lately, so not a guy that I'm too low on at the moment, actually. Now, in terms of history against the Guardians, he doesn't have any this year, so we'll see what he does, but I don't know, man. Feels like he's pitching for his next contract. Feels like he's pitching well. The White Sox bullpen coming off a pretty good day, obviously, and over the course of the year, a 4.10 bullpen ERA for a team that was like one of the worst bullpens in the majors last year is a significant step in the right direction. Offensively, 5, 6, 4, 6, 0, 7, and 11 over their last few. This team kind of out of nowhere is hitting the ball all of a sudden. They're 27th in batting average, 26th in runs scored over the course of the year, but recently, they are not a team that you can make mistakes against. They're hitting the ball really, really well. So we'll see what they do here against the Cleveland Guardians, who have also been playing well. Just won 3 out of 4 against the Royals after winning 3 out of 4 against the Tampa Bay Rays. They currently find themselves 3 games back in the wildcard hunt. So still a lot of work to do. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Tanner Bybee, who's 9-11 on the year, a 4.69 ERA. His last start was very good there against Tampa Bay. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and a 3-2 win. So well played there. The 4 starts before that were looking a little bit less good, and he also really struggled against the White Sox back on August 8th, giving up 5 hits and 4 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings. So that's a little bit concerning. He also gave up 6 hits against the White Sox back on July 12th. So we'll see. We'll see what Tanner Bybee does against a very hot-hitting White Sox team in this one. The Guardians bullpen, not something I'm concerned about. Very solid, a 3.57 bullpen ERA. They've been good. The offense, though, is nothing too special at the moment. 3, 3, 2, 10, 2, 3, and 7 over their last few. This just isn't a great team at the plate. They're last in batting average. They're second to last in both on-base percentage and slugging percentage. They've hit the ball a little bit better recently, but they are eking out these wins, and they are very, very close against some offensively challenged teams. So we'll see what goes on in this one. Looking at the numbers here, guys, the White Sox are plus 145. The Guardians are minus 175. We've got a total of 7.5. The White Sox are only 25-47 on the road, so a terrible road team historically this year. 40-29-3 to the under on the road. Cleveland's 37-34 at home and a 500 over-under team at home. First up, I think no run first inning is very live in this game. I don't think that's a terrible play at all, but in terms of a side, I mean, I'm taking the White Sox at plus 145. The way they've been playing, this team has cashed so many dog of the days for us this year. It's going to be very, very tempting to put them in there as the dog of the day on this one. I know Tanner Bybee's been good at times, but Martin Perez has thrown the ball really, really well, and while the White Sox bullpen isn't as good as the Cleveland bullpen, the Cleveland bats are not as good as the White Sox bats right now. So definitely have to consider the White Sox here as a potential dog of the day. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Detroit Tigers heading to Miami to take on the Marlins. The Tigers at 84-63 on the year just had a pretty solid series there against the Yankees, winning 2 out of 3 and really seeing the bats wake up. They don't have too much to worry about with an 8.5 game lead over Cleveland there in the AL Central. They're handing the ball in this one to their ace, Tariq Skubal. Happy Skubal Day to all those who celebrate, guys. He's 13-4 on the year, a 2.10 ERA. His last 2 outings have been absolutely dominant, not giving up a run over 14 innings pitched in back-to-back shutout wins. You can't get much better than the way Skubal's been throwing the ball. Now, it was against the White Sox and the Royals, so let's not freak out too much. We'll see what he can do here against the Marlins, but I'm expecting him to be very, very good out there against a team he hasn't faced this season. The Detroit bullpen has been a little bit better here recently, I guess, but it's still not an amazing bullpen, a 4.04 bullpen ERA. That number's headed in the right direction, but I do worry about the bullpen a little bit. The offense, putting up 23 runs over the first 2 games there against the Yankees, was red hot. They cooled down a little bit in Game 3, but they're still a very reasonable team at the plate, and maybe they've snapped out of that little bit of a funk. So we'll see what they do here against the Marlins, who did just win 2 out of 4 against the Nationals, but at 68-79 on the year, not exactly an amazing team. They're going to hand the ball to Sandy Alcantara, who's 8-12 on the year, a 5.67 ERA. His last start was against the Phillies, and it didn't go great. 6 innings, 7 hits, and 4 earned runs. Is not a disaster of a start, and he had been throwing the ball really, really well for a few games before that, like good outings against the Mets, Braves, Cardinals, Red Sox. Like, he's been throwing the ball pretty well. Got to give him some credit. I don't believe he has not faced the Tigers yet this year. So we'll see how this one looks. But Alcantara really rounding into form here at the end of the season. The Marlins bullpen doesn't exactly fill me with tons of optimism. A 4.39 bullpen ERA is pretty atrocious. The offense did turn things on for the last couple games. I mean, 5, 8, 5, and 7 over their last few is nice, but do you really think those are going to put up those kind of numbers against Skubal? Seems extremely unlikely to me. The Marlins are 16th in the majors in runs scored, 18th in slugging percentage. We'll see how they do. They have been better this year than I would have expected. So looking at the numbers, the Tigers are minus 210. The Marlins are plus 175. We got a total of only 7 in this game. Detroit is 38 and 33 on the road. 39, 31, and 1 to the over on the road. Miami is 33 and 41 at home. 37, 36, and 1 to the under at home. I mean, I'm definitely going to be siding with the Tigers here. Minus 210 would have to be, lock of the day kind of territory. And when you got Skubal on the mound, that has to at least go on the list. So we'll be considering the Tigers as a possibility here as our lock of the day. Next up, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees heading to Boston to take on the Red Sox. The Yankees at 81 and 65 in the year are 3 games back with Toronto in the AL East. They just lost 2 out of 3 against Detroit, but won Game 3 in a pretty solid fashion behind another massive day there from Judge. The Yankees were going to hand the ball in this one to Luis Gil, who's 3-1 on the year, a 3.31 ERA, coming off an excellent start against Toronto. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed. We'll see what he can do here against the Red Sox. He faced them back in late on the 21st of August. 5 innings, 4 hits, and 2 runs allowed in a 6-3 loss. So we'll see what Gil can do here. That's not a terrible outing. I do worry about the Yankees bullpen. A 4.54 bullpen ERA is a huge problem confronting this team. The offense did come alive there in Game 3 of the series, but they were completely shut down in both Games 1 and 2 against Detroit. So we'll see what they get. Obviously, they need Judge to put up big numbers. I will also mention they are coming off a very emotional game there on September 11th. So we'll see what they do here. Headed to Fenway to take on the Red Sox, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Athletics. They are 3.5 games back of Toronto in the AL East. They'll hand the ball in this one to Lucas Giolito, who's 10 and 3 on the year, a 3.38 ERA, coming off a mediocre start there against the Diamondbacks and a 5-1 loss. The last time he faced the Yankees, he also wasn't great. 4 and 2 innings, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs in that game. Doesn't exactly get me too jazzed up. So we'll see what he does this time against the Yankees. How many times has he faced the Yankees more than once? No, just only that one time. Okay, we'll see what he can do. The Boston bullpen is light years better than the Yankees bullpen. A 3.45 bullpen ERA is excellent. The offense for the Red Sox, they hit the ball pretty well against the Athletics, 4, 6, and 7 in that series, 7 in the last game of their series against Arizona. They're 4th in the majors in runs scored. They're 5th in batting average. Not a lot of negatives for me to find about the Red Sox in this one. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Yankees are minus 125. The Red Sox are plus 105, a total of 9 in this game. The Yankees are 37 and 34 on the road. 37, 30, and 4 to the over on the road. Boston's 44 and 28 at home, 37, 33, and 2 to the under at home. I'm going to be taking the underdog in this one. I'm not super stoked about Giolito's situation, but the Yankees bullpen is terrible. Luis Gil's not going to go super deep into this game. They're also coming off a very emotional win yesterday. I think this is a good spot to back the Red Sox here, especially getting plus money. Next on the docket, we've got the Texas Rangers heading to New York to take on the Mets. The Rangers just won their 4th straight game. They swept the Milwaukee Brewers. They're only 2 games back now in the AL West, really making some noise out there. They're only a game and a half back of the Mariners in the American League wildcard hunt. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jacob deGrom. They really need to be good down the stretch. He's 11 and 7 on the year, a 2.78 ERA, coming off a mediocre start against the Astros. 5 and 3 innings, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs. They need him to be a bit better than that. We'll see what he can do against the Mets. Obviously not the scariest team to face right now, the way they've been swinging the bats, but he hasn't faced them this year. The bullpen for the Rangers has been excellent this season, a 3.66 bullpen ERA. I'm not going to be mad about that. The offense is working out at the moment. 6, 5, 5, and 4 over their last few games is decent production for a team that's 18th in the majors in runs scored and 26th in the majors in batting average. So we'll see what they can do against the Mets. They have now lost 6 straight games. Really couldn't figure it out there against the Phillies, losing 4 in a row. They are very much in danger of missing the playoffs completely. They're only a game and a half up on the Giants and the Reds in that National League wildcard hunt. It's not looking good. They'll hand the ball in this one to Johan Tong. He's 1-1 on the year, a 4.09 ERA. He's only made a couple of starts this season. Neither one of it was particularly impressive, and that was against the Reds and the Marlins. Now he's got to face the Rangers, who are hitting the ball pretty well. I'm definitely worried about this 22-year-old right-hander coming up from the minors and getting put in some big pressure situations. The Mets bullpen has really taken its lumps recently, all the way up to a 4.13 bullpen ERA. That's a big problem, and the offense has not been amazing, guys. 4, 3, 3, 0, 2, and 3 over their last few games is not going to get the job done. Season-long offensive numbers look good. Recent offensive numbers look bad. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers have it listed as a flip. The Rangers are minus 110, the Mets are minus 110, a total of 7.5. The Rangers are 30-42 on the road, 37-34-1 to the over on the road. The Mets are 44-27 at home, 35-33-3 to the over at home. There's no way I'm backing the Mets right now. Absolutely no chance. Give me the Rangers here at minus 110 with DeGrom on the mound. I know he hasn't been amazing here recently, and that'll probably keep this game out of the pinned comment, but I definitely think the Mets are in really, really a bad situation right now, and the Rangers will probably take advantage. Next on the docket, we got the Houston Astros heading to Atlanta to take on the Braves. The Astros just lost 2 out of 3 against Toronto. They're only a half game up on Seattle, who is currently, well, they're down 6-5 now in the top of the 12th inning. So probably going to lose that game, but we'll see what happens. The Astros don't have a confirmed starter for this one, so that's a bit annoying. Their bullpen has been relatively good this year, a 3.73 bullpen ERA. So we'll see if they go with the bullpen start or put an actual starter in there. We don't know right now. The offense has obviously been terrible, 0-3, 3, 2, and 11 over their last few games. Has not been a team you can count on at the plate. They're 25th in runs scored. They're 6th in batting average, but 14th in on-base percentage. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about the Astros bats at the moment, and they're taking on an Atlanta Braves team that has lost 2 out of their last 3, but they'll hand the ball in this one to one of the most exciting young pitchers in baseball, Hurston Waldrep. He's 4-0 on the year, a 1.33 ERA, coming off a very good start against the Mariners, 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, which is honestly a terrible outing given what he's done in general this year. So I'm expecting him to have a very good start here against the Astros. The kid is just looking like the phenom that he was billed to be. So we'll see if he can keep that up. The Atlanta bullpen is not great, so that is a bit of a concern whenever he comes out of the game. The offense has not been amazing. 2-1-4, 2-2, and 4 over their last few is pretty bleak. They're down to 21st in the majors in batting average and 21st in slugging percentage. So looking at the numbers for this one, we have numbers despite no starter there for the Astros. Houston's minus 135. The Braves are plus 115, a total of 8.5 in this game. Houston's a 500 road team. They're 34-33-5 to the under on the road. Atlanta's 35-37 at home, 39-29-4 to the under at home. I mean, I'm getting Hurston Waldrep at home at plus money. Give me the Braves. Getting plus 115 seems pretty reasonable. Not super high on the Astros right now. Can't really be too solid on this one since I don't know who's starting for the Astros yet, but I'd be surprised if we didn't like the Braves here at plus money with Waldrep on the bump. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks heading to Minnesota to take on the Twins. The Diamondbacks at 73-74 on the year are not completely out of the mix in the wildcard hunt. They're only 3 games back of the Mets for the last wildcard spot there in the National League. They'll hand the ball in this one to Brandon Pfaadt, who's 13-8 on the year, a 5.18 ERA, coming off an actually very solid start. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run allowed there in a 5-1 win against the Red Sox. So good stuff there. Usually he gives up a ton of runs and somehow magically gets the win anyway. We'll see what he can do here against the Twins. See if he's got 2 good starts back-to-back in him. He hasn't faced Minnesota this year, so we'll see how it goes. The Diamondbacks bullpen has not been great this year, obviously. A 4.80 bullpen ERA has had them among the worst in the league this season. The offense, though, has generally continued to be decent. Now, they've had a little bit of a rough stretch here. Nobody hits the ball particularly well against the Giants, but over the course of the season, they're still 5th in runs scored and 8th in on-base percentage. So I'm not expecting a massive drop-off all of a sudden here for the Diamondbacks at the plate. Now, they're taking on the Twins, who at 64-82 on the year don't have anything left to play for. They'll hand the ball here to Pablo Lopez, who's 5-4 on the year, a 2.84 ERA. He's missed a ton of time, basically missed 3 months this year, but came back to have a good start against the Royals. 6 innings, 6 hits, and 2 earned runs allowed. Unfortunately for him, that was a 2-1 loss. So, looks like he's healthy for this game. That's nice, I guess, but it's a little bit too little, a little bit too late. The Twins' bullpen's been terrible down the stretch. That's no joke. And in their series against the Angels, they didn't hit the ball particularly well in games 2 and 3. Game 1 they put up 12, but game 1 they put up 12. Game 2 they put up 2. Game 3 they put up 3. So not a super scary team at the plate. They're 23rd in runs scored and 25th in batting average. So looking at the numbers for this one, guys, the Diamondbacks are plus 110. The Twins are minus 130. We've got totals out there of 8.5 or 8. Arizona's 35-40 on the road. A 500 over-under team on the road. Minnesota's 35-36 at home, and a slight over team at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, but I will lean just a bit towards the Diamondbacks. This game matters more to them. Pfaadt usually gets run support kind of out of nowhere, so give me the Diamondbacks in this one as a small lean. Next up, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals. They're headed to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. The Cardinals just got swept by the Mariners. Not a great look to fall to 72 and 75 on the year. They're not headed anywhere positive this year. There's no way they're going to make some crazy run and capture the National League wildcard spot. They're handing the ball in this one to Andre Pallante, who's 6 and 13 on the year, a 5.28 ERA. His last couple starts, he's looked much better, but good starts against the Reds and the Giants. A little bit different than having a good start here against the Brewers. We'll see if he can put one together. He got knocked around by them pretty aggressively back in mid-June, so not super high on Pallante in this specific spot. The Cardinals' bullpen, on the other hand, has been excellent. A 3.54 bullpen ERA. That's been a big plus for this team. The problem has been their lack of offense. They were 2-3-2 in that series against the Mariners, and over the course of the year, they're all the way down to 19th in runs scored and 28th in slugging percentage. Pretty bleak stuff for a team that was around top 5, top 10 in the majors offensively for the entire first half of the season. So we'll see what they can do here on the road, playing against the Brewers, who just got swept by the Rangers. They're going to try to bounce back by handing the ball to Quinn Priester, who's 12-2 on the year, a 3.25 ERA. Let's just be honest, guys. The Brewers win every game this kid is on the mound. It's been an insane streak. They haven't lost a game where he has pitched since all the way back on May 24th. Crazy, crazy work. The last time he faced the Cardinals, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run allowed in a 3-2 win. I'm expecting more of the same here from Quinn Priester. He's thrown the ball really well lately. I don't think that's going to change right now. The Brewers' bullpen's been much better down the stretch. I'm not going to put it as a top-tier bullpen, but it's still reasonable. The offense did not look good there at the Rangers. 3-4-0 in that series. I'm expecting them to snap out of it. They're second in the majors in runs scored. They're second in the majors in batting average. They're going to figure it out. And looking at the numbers for this game, the Cardinals are plus 155. The Brewers are minus 190. A total of 8.5 in this one. The Cardinals 31 and 41 on the road, 36, 32 and 4 to the over on the road. The Brewers are 46 and 26 at home and a slight under team at home. Not interested in the total for this game. I will definitely take the Brewers here at minus 190, though. This has a great chance to be our lock of the day. Milwaukee is going to snap out of this little losing streak they're in. They obviously don't have to be in desperation mode, but the Cubs are close enough to put on a little bit pressure, and I think Priester is going to go out there and have a great start. Next on the docket, we have the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Padres with us there yesterday as our lock of the day that finished off our perfect 6-0 day. The Rockies come into this one on a 6-game losing streak. They lost 2-0 there yesterday, haven't scored a run in their last 18 innings. They'll hand the ball in this one to Tanner Gordon. This 27-year-old is 5-6 on the year, a 6.60 ERA, coming off a pretty bad start there against the Padres where he gave up 6 earned runs over 3 2/3 innings in an 8-1 loss. So I'm not super high on him, but I will say he'd had a pretty good 3-game stretch before that. So maybe he's got a bounce back in him here. We'll see. The Rockies' bullpen's been atrocious. One of the worst 2 bullpens in the majors, no doubt about that. And the offense has been just abysmal, getting shut out in back-to-back games. All that being said, this is a weird one. This is a weird one. They're taking on the Padres. They come into this game needing every win they can get, 2.5 games back of the Dodgers there in the NL West. They won game 1 2-0. They're not in the ball great right now. They'll hand the ball in this one to JP Sears, who's 8-10 on the year, a 5.01 ERA. He's had 3 starts since coming over from the Athletics. A bad start against the Diamondbacks, a good start against the Giants, and then a bad start against the Mariners. We'll see what he looks like here against the Rockies. I mean, it's kind of hard to get super jazzed up about this guy being on the mound. He also had kind of a bad start against the Rockies back in April. We're not going to take that too much into consideration, but at least is something to keep in the back of your mind. The bullpen for the Padres is amazing. There's no doubt about that. Best bullpen in baseball, and it's not particularly close. The offense, though, 2, 1, 2, 4, 8, 10, and 0 over their last few. So they just played the Rockies in a 3-game series. They did lose a game in that series, and they lost it 3-0. So something to keep in mind here when you look at the numbers, and they are crazy. The Rockies are plus 260. The Padres are minus 330. We've got a total of 8 in this one. The Rockies are 17 and 54 on the road, 42, 27 and 2 to the under on the road. The Padres are 44 and 27 at home, 39, 29 and 3 to the under at home. I'm not going to take under 8, but I would understand people who might want to. I will lean towards the Rockies here at plus 260. You're getting more than 2.5 to 1. Like, the Padres just aren't that much better than what the Rockies are doing right now. Like, they're not a very hard-hitting team. Sears is not a great starter. So give me the Rockies here as a tiny lean, but obviously this is not going in the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we've got the Cincinnati Reds heading to Sacramento to take on the Athletics. The Reds did just win 2 out of 3 against the Padres. They're 2 games above 500, and that puts them, what is it now? Only a game and a half back of those just free-falling New York Mets. So we'll see if they can make this push into the last playoff spot. They'll hand the ball in this game to Brady Singer. He's 13-9 on the year, a 3.98 ERA, coming off an excellent start against the Mets. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed. Honestly, his last 5 starts have all looked very, very reasonable. We'll see what he can do here against the Athletics, a team that I don't know that he has faced yet. No, he has not faced the Athletics this season as far as I can tell. So we'll see what Singer can do. I'm expecting him to be okay out there, but the Athletics are no joke at the plate. The bullpen for the Reds has been all over the place and back this season. A 4.06 bullpen ERA. Not the end of the world, but also not amazing. The offense, 2, 4, 3, 3, 6, and 4 over the last few games. That's been what's held this team back most of the year. They're an average at best offense, and I would actually lean towards them being a little bit below average. So we'll see what they can do against the Athletics, who did win 1 out of 3 against the Red Sox at 67 and 80. They don't have anything to play for, but they are looking pretty good in general. Better than I would have thought they would look this year. They're handing the ball to JT Ginn, who's 3-6 on the season, a 4.95 ERA, coming off an excellent start against the Angels. So we'll see if that can a little bit of that success can translate here against the Reds, a team that I don't have any. He has not faced yet this year. So we'll see what he can do. The bullpen for the Athletics is terrible, one of the worst 4 or 5 bullpens in the majors, and that's been pretty consistent this year. The offense broke out after getting shut out back-to-back games to put up 5 runs. I'm not going to be too impressed by that. They're 12th in the majors in runs scored. They're 4th in batting average and 4th in slugging percentage, so not a team you can necessarily take lightly at the plate. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Reds are plus 100. The Athletics are minus 125, a total of 10 in this game. The Reds are 34 and 38 on the road, 41, 30, and 1 to the under on the road. The Athletics are 30 and 42 at home, 35, 33, and 4 to the over at home. Right off the bat, I think under 10 is a great spot in this game. I don't think we're going to see that much offense. Neither one of these teams really hits the ball like that at the moment, at least. In terms of the side, I will take the Reds at plus 100 with Singer on the mound. I don't think this is a pinned comment level of confidence in this play necessarily. The Athletics have been slumping recently, but the Reds on the road doesn't feel great, so that's just a small lean. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. These two teams are somehow still playing. Okay, the game just ended. In the bottom of the 12th, the Mariners do get the win. So congratulations to the Mariners on a much-needed win. That being said, these two teams are going to be absolutely exhausted for this game. The Angels in this one will hand the ball to Yusei Kikuchi. He's 6-11 on the year, a 4.18 ERA, coming off 3 straight terrible starts starting against the Rangers, the Astros, and the Athletics. We'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit against the Mariners. The bullpen for the Angels has been terrible all year long. No secret there. The offense, they put up 6 runs in their current game, 4, 12, 3, and 4 over the games before that. This is not a very good team at the plate. They're 29th in batting average and 28th in on-base percentage. So we'll see what the Mariners can do. They are now 79 and 68 on the year. Really putting some pressure there on Houston, keeping up in the wild card. A lot of good stuff going on for the Mariners. They've won, 6 straight games, and they'll hand the ball to Luis Castillo on this game. He's 9-8 on the year, a 3.85 ERA. He had been floundering for at least 4 starts in a row, and then just had a very good outing his last time on the mound. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed, struck out 6 and walked to 0 against the Atlanta Braves. So he definitely needed that one. We'll see what he can do this time going up against the Angels, a team that he had a terrible start against back in early June. The bullpen for the Mariners has been relatively reliable, but not as good down the stretch. The offense, while they did put up a lot of runs here in their last game, hadn't been great in that series against the Cardinals, but hit the cover off the ball against the Braves. So we'll see which version of them we get at the plate. Obviously, having a guy like Cal Raleigh on your roster probably feels pretty good right now. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Angels are plus 140. The Mariners are minus 165. We've got a total of 7.5 or 8 showing out there still. The Angels are 32 and 39 on the road, 36, 33, and 2 to the over on the road. The Mariners are 44 and 27 at home, 35, 32, and 4 to the over at home. With these two teams being this exhausted, I really have no idea who's going to win this game. I'll lean just slightly towards the Mariners, I suppose, because Kikuchi's been so bad lately. I also think under 8 is very, very live in this game, just based on these two teams being that exhausted. But nothing from this game is making the pinned comment for me, guys. Those are just my leans. Last but not least, we're looking at the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers did a good job taking advantage of the Rockies, winning all 3 in that series. They've won 4 straight games. They're now 2.5 games up on the Padres for the top spot in the NL West. They'll hand the ball in this one to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's 11-8 on the year, a 2.72 ERA, coming off back-to-back amazing performances. Now, the last one was wasted. It was almost a no-hitter, as close as you can possibly get, but it was a very good start nonetheless. He also had a great start against the Diamondbacks before that, a very good start against the Padres before that. The kid's throwing the ball well, and now he gets to go up against the Giants. He might be a little bit tired, but the last time he faced the Giants, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. So I'm expecting Yamamoto to be good out there unless fatigue is a huge problem. The bullpen for the Dodgers, on the other hand, is not amazing. So I do worry about that. The offense obviously hit the ball really well against the Rockies. Will that continue here against the Giants? Kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there. Obviously, over the course of the year, they've been a very good team at the plate, but down the stretch, haven't been that wowed by their, just how good they've been at the plate. So we'll see what they do against the Giants, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks at 74-72 on the year. They also are only a game and a half back of the Mets in the National League wildcard hunt. They're going to hand the ball to Justin Verlander in this game. He's 3-10 on the season, a 4.09 ERA. He's pitched back-to-back shutout outings. He went 5 innings, struck out 10, gave up no runs on 3 hits against Baltimore in a 13-2 win. Then he went up against the Cardinals, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, no walks, and struck out 6. Somehow the Giants managed to lose that game 3-2. So Verlander's actually throwing the ball great right now. We'll see what he can do against the Dodgers. Obviously a pretty tough test there. Has he faced the Dodgers this season? I don't think he has not faced the Dodgers yet this year. So we'll see what Verlander can do. I'm actually expecting him to be pretty good. The Giants bullpen's been one of the best 2 bullpens in baseball this year, so that's been a big plus for them. The offense has not been amazing. 3, 5, and 11 over their last few games is pretty hot hitting for a team that's 24th in batting average, 19th in on-base percentage, and somehow 15th in runs scored. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Dodgers are minus 155. The Giants are plus 130. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. The Dodgers are 32-38 on the road, 40-29-1 to the under on the road. The Giants are 37-35 at home, 39-30-3 to the under at home. I actually think under 7.5 is live in this game. I do worry a little bit about Yamamoto coming off of such a wild and extended start. So I will lean a bit towards the Giants and Verlander here, but this is a game I expect to be very entertaining if you like to see really good pitching. That's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button if you look on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking that link down in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list for sure. It's a great resource. Get on, check out the premium picks if you're interested in those. They've been, rolling right along here recently. A very nice run the last 3 days and tons of football action here coming up this weekend. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.